Welcome everyone to our gameplay series of X4 Foundations. I'm very excited to get started with this, but before we can get started in the world itself, I want to show you a few of the mods that we're going to be using here at the beginning. Now these mods are, currently we don't have a workshop that is available through Steam right now. That'll be coming a little bit later on, but I've downloaded each of these mods from Nexus Mods, and I am very thankful to the mod authors that have really done some things to help you out in this game. Modding is the lifeblood of a game like this, a wide open sandbox as it is, and I'm very excited to find new mods, make adjustments to mods, all sorts of things as time goes on. But let's take a brief look at each of these, starting with better scan colors. This is simply going to make it easier for us to tell which parts of a station we've scanned versus which parts we have not scanned. Crystal Finder, this is going to get rid of having to find that little sparkle or twinkle when you're looking through the asteroid fields. Instead, we're going to be looking for color. So it's going to simplify that process quite a bit, and we'll see that starting out in our very first video here. Then we move to sector satellites, and satellites by default, not the advanced ones, but the normal satellites that you're going to have starting off, are very limited in their range considering the vastness of space. So unless you have them placed perfectly, you're going to need a whole bunch of them in every sector. Well, this gets rid of all that, having to spam satellites everywhere, and each satellite can cover an entire sector. So that should simplify things as well. Next comes the signal leak hunter, and that is going to help us by not having to turn on the scanner when we're riding around stations. It will send us right to the closest data leak or the closest mission. So that's going to save us a lot of time. Again, a lot of these are quality of life type mods that I'm interested in that will allow us to have the fun of the game without having to necessarily go through all the tedious stuff that takes so very long to do. And then finally is the trader bought notification. This simply tries to even out a little bit the information that you get. Normally traders, when they're auto trading, will tell you whenever they've sold some wares and how much they've sold it for, but that really doesn't give you the whole equation, because you need to also know how much they bought it for, and that's what this mod is there for. So with that in mind, let's actually hop in, and we're going to select the Young Gun new game simply because I figure that's what most people are going to use. I really like the Unworthy Entrepreneur, but I feel like it starts us out with a bit too much with a couple of ships as well as a beginning level station. So I want to go with the Young Gun, so let's get to it. All right, now that we've spawned into the game, we're actually in one of the equipment docks within the world, and if we press the map real quick, here's actually where we're located on the Argon equipment dock, and the green arrow designates exactly where we are. But if we scroll back out, you can see our visual radius. This is the area that we can actively monitor. And then beyond that, there is the fog of war. And of course, you can see as we scroll back out, we can only see an extremely small part of the map. So we got a lot of exploring to do. But before we get started in all of that, we need to first make a few adjustments to our ship. Let's actually walk over to this guy. Let's see, engineering and morale both are zeros, but he's got a 1 and 2 points in each of those. So he's getting closer to having a 1 star. All right, let's go ahead and get back into the menu. Let's go to player information, and we need to make an adjustment to our logo to start off with. Let's actually go and get the Knee-Pit Gaming logo. And then the default ship skin, we're actually going to choose the third one, which has got some green accents on there. That'll get us going in the right direction. Now, one of the options we have, as this guy looks like he's out for his morning jog, one of the options that we have right off the bat is to go ahead and sell some things off, some of our consumables. And in fact, let's come in and take a quick look at that. And if you saw my guide, that's exactly what I did at the very beginning. Unfortunately, the main reason I did that, they've actually taken out of the game more or less completely. So there's really not as much reason to take out the consumables. But one thing I am going to do, since we're not going to worry about the main storyline just yet, I'm going to get rid of all of our nav beacons because I tend not to use them very much. If we need some more to do some missions, then that's fine. I'll come back in and pick some up. But for right now, I'm not going to keep those. But the resource probes and satellites, we are certainly going to put to use. But again, normally I would sell off most of those simply to get us going, but they have completely gotten rid of, or nearly completely gotten rid of, the crafting aspect that you do with the traders. So there's no reason for us to go down there right now, but we'll be back. All right, so here we go. Here's our starter ship, and we're about to hop in and get out of here. Now, eventually, hopefully fairly soon, we'll actually be hiring a pilot to drive us around. Right now, you see we've got 15 coming up on 15 seconds left for the upgrade. That is simply because we sold some wares out of our ship. So now that transaction is taking place, and then we'll be off and running. Now, our starter ship, as you can probably imagine, isn't all that wonderful as far as its capabilities. So we're going to want to upgrade from this particular ship pretty quickly, and that's what we're going to work on here at the very beginning. So there's a lot that you can do and will probably want to do from the very beginning of the game, but we're going to try to take this sort of one step at a time and have a little fun with it along the way. First thing we're going to do is we're actually going to come over here, and I'm going to do a little long range scanning. I'm going to press, for me it's the 3 key. I believe it's Shift 3 by default. I've actually changed that to F3 for me. So that starts the mode. There we go. I can barely hear the sound. I've got the sound turned down right now on the computer. I can barely hear it. And so that should have brought us up some things that we didn't know about. And there we go. We've got some question marks around the area. And some of those are going to be stations, as you can see clearly marked there. And then you're also going to have some other things out here like jump gates and so on. But right now, what I really want to do is we're going to put this in travel mode, and we're going to head over here to this asteroid field and see if we can find anything that is worth our time. What we're really interested in, number one, is to stay away from this raiding party. Later on, we won't worry too much about them because we'll have enough ships to deal with them in combat. But for right now, that is not what I am interested in. And now you can see we're coming up on a resource area. Going back to the legend, here you can see we've got mineral and gas. We've also got a gas region. So let's go ahead and get out of that. And let's press F1 to get out of the travel mode. In fact, let's just go ahead and sort of stop right here for just a second. Let's come back in, and yeah, this looks like a pretty good spot. What I'm actually going to do is we're going to come in and drop one of our resource probes, and that way we'll get an idea of what resources are in this area. So in the future, once we have some AI with us and some auto miners, we'll know where to send them and what to have them mine. All right, let's sort of travel through here a little bit. I'm not sure we're going to find any of the crystals here. Oh, there's one right there. You can see the purple on there. Now, the purple are the most widely available and also the ones that are worth the least. But right now, we need all the money we can get. So let's try to get around here. And basically, you can see it sparkling there a little bit, but this is much easier to see. And we're simply going to fire our main weapon at it. There we go. And we've got them all. Now I'm going to hold down the O key, which is for me sort of the tractor beam that will bring these in. I see some more over there. So again, the purple are generally worth somewhere around 900 to 1,000. It's a little bit different price at every station. So if you really want to get serious about this, then checking at different stations and finding out the prices for these that they're going to give you is a worthwhile operation. But for our perspective right now, we're not terribly worried about that. There we go. Now we've got a couple of these, and if we scroll out, you might be wondering, okay, where do these show up if you're not familiar with the game? Now, if we actually highlight our ship, go under information, and we look under storage, you can see we have 0 wares and no storage space is taken up. So where did everything go? Well, these things, all the drops that you pick up out here will go under player information and inventory. Right now you can see that's these purple crystals that we've mined. We have 18 of them, and it's averaging the price at about 1,000. So right now we're sitting at 18,000 credits or thereabouts just with what we've mined so far. So let's keep going. There are several colors, 5 or 6 different colors. In fact, there's another one right there. There's a blue one. And that is certainly a color we're interested in because the blue ones are the next step up from purple. And these are worth, whoop, hold on, make sure I don't go too far. And you can see even with our terrible starting weapon, we're able to take care of this. And you usually get 5 to 7 of these crystals each time you mine one of them. And each of those blue crystals are generally worth somewhere between 8,500 to about 10,000, sometimes even more if you find a good station for it. But those are going to be a very nice find for us. And again, I'm looking for the different color lights. If we see a white glow, then that is going to be the best one. There's some more purple right over there. Oh, there's yellow right there. We'll be visiting that one next because that's the next step up from blue. So it's even more valuable. But white is the most valuable, and it's the one that you really want to get if you find those. All right, there we go. Okay, so no mining beam or mining turrets required for this. In fact, you can see this guy over here. He's not mining for crystals. He's mining for ore, probably. Let's go over to this yellow one. Now, the yellow, green/yellow ones are generally worth somewhere around 20,000, give or take, depending on what kind of pricing you find. Again, there's that twinkle. If you don't have the mod on, then you're going to see that twinkle, and you're going to have to keep an eye out for it. Let's try to get in position here. Well, we almost got all of them. You can see these asteroids are absolutely huge. And they are moving, so they're rotating through space, which you can clearly tell as we get closer to them. Well, I will gladly sit here and continue to shoot it if it's going to continue to give me crystal. Let's go ahead and gather the ones that we've mined so far, and then we're going to try to get into a little bit better range so that we can do this and hopefully finish this off. There we go. All right, let's get a little bit closer. There we go. So our tractor beam will take care of those. All right, so now we're off and running. Let's actually see what else we can find around here. And this is, looks like there's a purple one there, but I'm more interested in this yellow. I'm not going to pass any up, per se, but if I see two side by side and one of them is purple and another one is a different color, I'm going for the different color. Looks like some green on that one, but I don't see any crystals on it. I see some more purple out here in the distance. And again, we need all the money we can get here early on because we're trying to build our economy. We're trying to build a fleet so that we can have ourselves set up to make quite a bit of money and be an economic power eventually. Luckily, the asteroids don't do really any damage to you for the most part if you're just this close to them, so that's not really a huge issue. I'm seeing a lot of green on this one over here, so we're going to at least come over here to investigate and see if I can see anything. I don't see a glow, a nice glow that we're looking for. Okay, I don't see anything there. Let's move on, see what else we can find. Let's actually go back into our inventory real quick and see what we've got. Oh, wow, look at that. We're very close to $1 million worth of cargo right here. That is exactly what we're looking for. That'll get us a ship for sure. And if we're able to do even better on this run and find some more of these higher level crystals, more valuable crystals, then we might can get a couple of ships to get us going. But again, the whole idea right now is we're going to try to get some auto miners first and let these guys really start to work and make us some money. Let's see, we're all over this crystal. There we go. All right, one of the things I'm looking at is a mod for the tractor beam. Ooh, I see, looks like a blue and sort of a green. Let's go for the green first since it's more valuable. But yeah, the tractor beam right in this default game just really is not very strong. I mean, things have to be fairly close to you in order for you to pull them in. I would prefer to have a little bit larger range, and I know there's a mod in particular on Nexus Mods that will do exactly that. So I may be testing that out for the future. Right now, see if we can get this one taken care of. Try to go ahead and pull in these guys. Oh, look at that. We're getting a bunch out of this. Very nice. We also picked up an illegal item. Let's go ahead and see what we've got. It looks like we've got a spacesuit bomb, or at least the progress toward creating one, which we're not terribly interested in right now. Let's see. Inventory. We've got, oh yeah, some unstable crystal. I'm actually, for right now, I'm going to go ahead and drop that. Because I'm not interested in any illegal wares and any dealings with the police right now. And you can see we have 1.375 million that we have gotten in crystals. And believe it or not, this is actually nerfed a little bit from what it was in before. I believe it was 1.2, maybe that actually nerfed the crystals. And by nerfing them, I think they're still worth the same amount, if memory serves me correctly. It's just that you don't find the more valuable ones as often now. So that's how they've nerfed it. Let's see if I can get... This is where it gets really irritating that these things are rotating the way they are, because I am not a terribly good pilot. And so trying to get this thing into position as this asteroid plays keep away from me. But yeah, a better handling ship. Let's see, let's go ahead and get the ones that are nearby, or at least we should be able to. Nope, can't quite get them. Let's see. Oh, I think I may be having a controller issue. Yeah, because this thing is moving even when I'm not making it move. All right, so hold on just a second. I'll be right back. All right, so we got that taken care of. And the issue that I have to deal with constantly in this game is that it recognizes my steering wheel and pedals as active during the game, even though I do not use any of the buttons that are on them. And have tried to unmap them as best I could. But every once in a while, the game will pick it up and it will automatically start to use one of the axes. And in this case, it was doing so in a manner that was actually moving the ship around. Sometimes it will mess up the map functionality to where the map scrolls all the way to one side of the screen, or something along those lines. Let's see if we can find a good way to get this crystal. This sucker is rotating really quickly, and I don't know if we're going to be able to get this one. In fact, no, if it were not purple, if it were a different color, then I would certainly want to get it. But with it being purple, I'm probably not going to mess with it a whole lot. All right, let's back out and sort of see where we are. You can see a few drops there, unstable crystals. One of those is the one we dropped. Looks like somebody else has dropped some. You'll see all sorts of things. Spacefly eggs are out here as drops. All sorts of things. Let's see what we got on our resource probe. Looks like we got some helium, Nevidium, ore, and silicone in the area. Excellent. Nevidium is going to be a very good resource for us as far as money making. So I'm very excited to get that. Let's see, where are we? We need to turn around and go the other direction. Let's actually go ahead and get a scan. All right, while I continue to scan around and look for these different colors, let's bring up the map. And okay, there we go. There's an unknown object. It is not a station. That is key for us because I believe that is where I want to go. Let's go ahead and start the guidance there. So it'll give us a direction that we can go, because we're going to start exploring just a little bit here in today's initial video in this gameplay series. All right, I see a little bit of purple right there. Okay, now I think there was a green one on the left over there, but we're going to go ahead and leave that one for now, simply because we're already up to speed. I'm using the travel drive, and if you look in the center of the screen, we're at 2,000 meters per second now, whereas without the travel drive, we're looking at somewhere, I think it's 150 meters per second for this particular ship. All right, there is a red icon over there. That means that's a raiding party, some sort of enemy. Generally, they're raiding parties. And so what we're about to go through now is a jump gate. There's some more enemies right over there. And it looks to be a station right over there. Okay, that's going to be a station. All right, I'm actually going to exit out of the travel mode simply because I've had some glitches when using the travel mode traveling through these gates, and now you can probably get a pretty good idea of why I wanted to come to this area here at the start. This is going to be a great area to try to do a lot of mining, both the crystal variety as well as some other resources. All right, so for right now, let's head over to, let's use that temporary boost. Now you have to be careful with this because it removes your shield as it is increasing your speed. So you have to be very careful about doing that. I want to drop a resource probe, but I want to kind of do it in a sort of a heavily populated area around here. So let's go ahead and see if we can get that done. We're back in travel mode here for a few minutes because, yeah, there we go. I want to get over in this area some more. All right, there we go. You see some purple there. Ooh, there's a yellow, couple of yellows there on the side. Let's see where we are. Okay, this is good enough. I just want to get an idea of what's here. And of course, we can also get the concentrations of each that are here. Wow. Come on, ship. All right, so we've got, where did I see the other yellow? I see one right in front of us there, and I could have sworn there was another one around here. But what we'll do after mining probably a couple more of these, we will head over to a station. Oh, I think I see it right there. And we'll actually sell these off, and we'll have quite a bit of starting money. All right, there we go. I see the crystal right ahead of us. All right, let's go ahead and slow down a little bit. There we go. So we got, you can see, we got several of those. All right, now the hard part about space where there's no up and down is it gets really hard to remember where something was if you get yourself turned around. All right, let's see if we can find this one, and I believe there's another one over to the right. So for right now, I'm going to pass up on these purple ones since we already have so many of the other types. Let's see, is that the crystal right there? Kind of looks like it. Yeah, that's it. Okay, it was blending in on me, and I had a hard time picking out the actual crystals. All right, there we go. A bunch of additional, let's see. And there's some purple over in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen, but we're headed toward this yellow. And unless I see something else good, like one of the more rare varieties, then this will probably be it, and we'll head over to a station, and we'll go ahead and get paid right quick so we can get some really nice starting capital. And then we're just going to have to find a place to use it so we can buy some ships. All right, let's try to get in here fairly close. Look at that nice glow there. That is awesome. Love this mod. It makes things so much simpler when you're trying to find this instead of being frustrated by flying around and trying to find this stuff. Okay, so now we need to find a station. Now, obviously, there are going to be stations all over this place. Let's take a quick look at what's here. For resources, we got some hydrogen, nevidium, ore, and silicone once again. Okay. All right, let's actually look. Oh, I think, a station right there in a scanning array factory. Okay, that'll do. Before we get started, I'm actually going to try to scan and see what else we might find in the area for later on. Okay, there we go. Let's go ahead and get that taken care of. Get locked onto that. And let's see what we got. Oh, yeah. Yeah, look at all of this. Wow. We've actually got several things to check out. But for right now, this one will certainly suffice. There are others around. We'll go ahead and put it into travel mode. And that way it won't take us very long at all to get that 50 kilometers that we're going to have to cover. And this is really where the satellites, I believe their range is 30 kilometers, or it might be 50. I can't remember exactly, but it gets really tedious to have to fly around and put a whole bunch of those out. So with that in mind, that mod really helps out. All right, let's go ahead and get a little bit closer. There we go. Use our boost mode. Now, for right now, we're not going to be scanning for any missions because I'm not really interested in doing a whole lot of missions. Oh, look at that. Okay, I cannot pass that up. Even though it's only a blue one, which is one step up from the purple, it's right here. I mean, as long as it's not too much of a pain to try to get based on the rotation of the asteroids, then we're going to certainly do that. All right, come on, hit the right spot. There we go. All right, use the tractor beam to pull those in. Now we can head over. And just very briefly, I saw a red icon pop up indicating, there it is. Let's see, let's move over here. There they are. Oh, they went inside there. Okay, so they'll probably come back out at some point. But we need to destroy as many of those as we can here early game, simply because they will help earn us reputation, valuable reputation. And let's actually try to park it on this side. Now this is going to be fun since I have yet to purchase the docking module just yet, but that is certainly going to be one of the things we'll have. All right, there we go. That wasn't too terribly bad. But once you get that docking module 2, the MK2 version, it is hard to go back to anything else because it makes it so much easier to land. All right, let's actually look at these guys. It would be nice if we could find somebody, a good pilot. It's very rare to find those, however, just walking around on the stations. But it would be nice to find one. So we're actually going to head over to the trader now. We're going to use the speedy walkway. And normally we'd be heavily using that crafting station, but again, not anymore since recent updates. All right, this guy, can I buy your sunglasses? Those look nice. Okay, so what do we want here? Well, we've got a lot of different options, and for right now, we're just going to be ignoring most of this stuff. We certainly want to pick up the spacesuit thrusters, MK2 version, because we will be doing some EVAs in the future. But now, here's where the magic happens. We get to sell all of these crystals that we just took the time to mine. So watch this number in the bottom corner go up as we continue to sell these different crystals. And there we go, 2.4 million credits for, just a few minutes work, really. And to get 2.4 million out of that, not bad at all. So that's going to give us plenty of money. So let's go ahead and pick up these thrusters. I'm not really concerned with a bomb launcher or the hand laser right now, so we're going to leave those alone. Let's go ahead and confirm that. And we're in good shape. So now we got $2.4 million, which is quite a bit, and we can get multiple ships with that. So the question now becomes, where do we get these ships? Well, we haven't unlocked or uncovered one of these stations just yet, so we got a little bit more work to do as far as exploration before we can do that, but we have no shortage of exploration to do here in the next few episodes. So for right now, we could teleport back over to our ship, but I'm going to actually walk just in case we come across any potential hires in the area. I see one right over here. Again, I just like to pick up a pilot if possible for our ship. And what do we have? Nope. You will not do at all. Even though we certainly could hire them, they would simply have 0 skill and have to level up from there. There's another person right here. And what do you have? Okay, you're getting close to a 1-star on engineer. Hey, come back here, guy. Okay, yeah. Everybody's really low level, as I expected they would be. So I think we're going to leave it here for our first video. We've had quite a bit of really good luck today with our mining. $2.4 million worth of the mined crystals. Thank you very much for joining me, and stay tuned as we will continue our gameplay series of X4 Foundations.